Coming up next on this edition of In the City, city officials tour the WastAway facility in Morrison, Tennessee. Also, Black Fox Elementary receives a $10,000 grant. Plus, Steam Fest at the Murfreesboro Airport draws a huge crowd. And we have a three-part series with the Solid Waste Department, Brush and Limbs, Smart Trucks, and Bulk Pickup. We'll tell you all about those stories and more coming up right now on this edition of In the City. Welcome to another edition of In the City, your source for what's happening right here in the city of Murfreesboro. I'm Michael Linn White. City officials have been working diligently to solve the city's solid waste problem before Middle Point landfill closes.
With a lot of people saying the Middle Point landfill will be full soon, the Murfreesboro City Council has been tasked with what the city will do with their solid waste going forward.
Well, it's definitely an issue for all of Murfreesboro and all of Rutherford County. What we do know is the Middle Point landfill is closing. What we thought would be 2027 has now looked like January 1st of 2026. So we know that we have a lot of solid waste in our city and in our county that we need to dispose of. And the question is, where is it going to go?
Darren Gore, Assistant City Manager, has been working on this problem since 2018 to find a solution and has found 4 choices the city has.
All the options were, there was about 4. One is transporting your garbage to another landfill. There's a clean MRF.
A clean MRF, which stands for Materials Recovery Facility, is a private business that accepts recycled materials separated by residents. It's collected by the city. The facility processes it, and the remaining trash is sent to a landfill.
There's a dirty MRF.
A dirty MRF, which accepts all trash, separates the recycled materials, and the rest is sent to a landfill.
And then this, the WastAway option, 90% diversion. I mean, there was nothing else that came close to it.
Our primary mission is to help end our country's dependence on landfills. And at WastAway, we can divert 90% of the municipal solid waste away from landfills and into beneficial reuse. We do that through our patented WastAway technology, which takes solid waste, we pull out the recyclable materials, the metals are pulled out, some of the plastics are pulled out, and then 70% of the end product is our SE3, which is a clean, sustainable fuel that's been approved by EPA for use in non-waste facilities.
WastAway is a Warren County-based company in Morrison, Tennessee, and opened their doors to give a presentation and tour of their facility, one of them being a newly elected city council member.
When I pulled up, I thought, am I in the wrong place? Because it looked so small, it wasn't intrusive. Believe me, it did not look like a landfill, and that's the best part, right? And walking around inside of it, there's no odor. It's very quiet. Actually, I walked in and I said, "Oh, is the plant closed today?" And he said, "Oh, no, it's just quiet." The truck's back fully into the facility and the doors closed, and then they scoop it up and take it over to the line where they begin to shred it and process it, and then it eventually becomes biofuel. I think that doing something with it other than dumping it on the ground around our neighborhoods and around our water source is a really good option.
Environmentally, I mean, you just heard if for every ton of this fuel that displaces coal, you get 1.7 tons of greenhouse gas emissions avoided. I mean, it's huge environmentally. So with the city's real focus on not wanting outside imported trash, the WastAway option just, it stood out.
At a recent city council workshop meeting, the council supported moving forward with more study of WastAway.
The council asked us to move forward with the development agreement and get something back to them by the end of November. That would create a framework on how this would look from a financing perspective. This is where Craig Tyndall, our city manager, really shines. He can really structure this thing and pull it together.
Obviously, we still have a lot of the logistics to work out, but I am here to say that it is as good as it sounds from standing here in the facility looking at the conveyor belts.
Thanks to the Tennessee Titans and the Tennessee Dairy Alliance, Black Fox Elementary receives a $10,000 nutrition grant to ensure every child has access to healthy foods. It was a big day for Black Fox Elementary School.
So today I'm here on behalf of the Dairy Alliance. We partner with NFL Play 60 to promote physical activity and promote dairy as well in daily diets for these kids.
Not only were the students surprised with the Tennessee Titans football player and cheerleaders, but also with a $10,000 grant specifically for the nutrition department.
This really will give them the opportunity to have more coolers and get kids fresh, cold milk that they need. And milk provides so many nutrients, particularly in cold and flu season. It really helps to boost your immune system, keep them healthy, keep them in the classroom, on the field, in their after-school activities, feeling their best.
Tennessee Titans professional football player Amani Hooker hyped up the crowd and threw out Titans merchandise. He says his main goal is to inspire these kids to be the best they can be.
I remember being in those seats when we had NFL players or people come in, we had an assembly. It was very exciting, and I just hope that my impact can help influence some kids to do those things.
This grant is part of the Fuel Up to Play 60 initiative started by the NFL and the National Dairy Council. Their goal is to encourage kids to be physically active and eat healthy foods. The program is offered free to all schools grades K through 12. For CityTV, Michael Linn White. Murfreesboro Municipal Airport hosted a Tennessee Steam Fest event for the first time, drawing a big crowd to check out all things aviation. It wasn't a typical day at the Murfreesboro Airport. It was their first time hosting a Tennessee Steam Fest event. The whole place was bustling with hundreds of people from the community.
We've partnered up with the Discovery Center, and this is a STEAM month, and so they're going around town at different places, different locations, trying to show kids all the different math and how we use it in our adult life.
A wide variety of different aircraft was showcased along with pilots and students ready to share their enthusiasm for all things aviation.
We have military helicopters, life flight helicopters, some aircraft that are kind of like World War II, some are new. MTSU is showing off all their engines and how a piston engine works compared to a jet engine, and some of their little UAVs. And we've got the police department and fire department showing off some of their really cool toys too.
Kids loved the chance to get an inside look at different types of aircraft, and we happened to meet two sisters whose dad is a pilot and has flown in and out of Murfreesboro many times.
They were really cool once you actually got to go inside it and see all the buttons. Our dad said he might want to take us on one and drive it.
With the help of community partners and sponsors, the crowd was treated to free lunch, lots of fun, and social time.
We had some chips and a hot dog, and we got to hang out with some friends here a little bit.
The new Murfreesboro Municipal Airport Terminal opened in 2020, and now that COVID restrictions have lifted, airport staff is thrilled to welcome the community to check out the beautiful new building and see what all the airport has to offer to our city. For CityTV, Michael Linn White. We spent time with Murfreesboro's Solid Waste Director talking about their services for residents. The first subject he discussed was yard waste.
The City of Murfreesboro's Solid Waste Department picks up yard waste year-round, but during leaf season, from October 1st to January 31st, the Street Department helps to keep up with the influx.
We'll pick them up all year long, and then they come in this time and have the vacuum machines that they use for other things. They kind of designate those for leaf season this time of year, so it helps out a lot. We've seen a lot more bagged leaves and bagged grass, which is a huge help. Biodegradable paper bag, you can pick it up at Lowe's, Home Depot, any of your hardware stores will have those. And if that stuff is bagged, then we'll just run a rear loader through there with a guy on the back of it, and he'll just toss those bags in. And it'll still go to the mulch facility and be turned into mulch. We still see plastic sometimes, and not to say that we won't service it, but we usually will tag it first just to make it known to the resident that this is the wrong type of bag, and then we'll collect whatever it is and dispose of it a different way.
When it's not leaf season, loose grass that is put curbside, there's a $5 charge. If the grass is bagged in a biodegradable paper bag, there's no charge. Plastic bags are not allowed, and there is no charge for limbs.
So if you put your loose grass, which a lot of folks have leaf-in grass this time of year because grass is still growing a little bit, just put it all together and vacuum it up.
Russell talks about what they do if it's dangerous the way the yard waste is displayed in the city's right-of-way.
If we see a constant, somebody putting it too far in the road, or even the sidewalks has really become more of a nuisance here lately. There's a lot of sidewalk traffic through these little neighborhoods and main streets especially. So we want to try to keep those as clear as possible. So we have little tags that will come out and we'll actually put it on the physical brush pile or leaf pile or grass pile, whatever it is. You'll see that it's not been collected. Hopefully the resident will see that there's a tag on it and it explains, we didn't service because XYZ. Please call our office so we can discuss it. That's not to say we will not service it. That's just an opportunity for us to educate, and maybe next time around you can put it out in a better spot and we'll get it as we go by. So we have a contract with Rollins. It's called REC Pro, REC Pro, and they run anywhere between 4 and 5 brush trucks on a designated part of the city. And they run the same cycle we do. So right now they're right at 7 days. They're picking up the same thing the city picks up. They're right step in step with what we do as a city. So they're just kind of helping take care of the other half of the city while we focus on a different part.
And just a reminder, if you choose to take care of your own bulk items and or yard waste, it's free to dispose of these yourself. Take your yard waste to 4765 Florence Road, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Take your bulk items to the city's convenience center at 648 West Main Street, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. or to one of the 14 Rutherford County convenience centers.
So once your brush, limb, grass, leaves, whatever it is you want to bring to us, we'll mulch it into our giant tub grinder that we have on the facility, turns it into mulch. And that mulch is free for you to come pick up anytime you want to, Monday through Friday, 6 to 2.
The second subject the Solid Waste Director discusses is their bulk pickup program.
One of the services that the City of Murfreesboro Solid Waste Department provides is bulk item pickup.
We have a newer ordinance in place where it's actually a charged service now.
The bulk item collection charges are $10 per item for the first 3 items, $30 for each item after that. These charges will be added to your water bill.
Items would include any furniture items that you could think of: couches, tables, chairs, bed frames, mattresses is the most common that we pick up. We don't pick up anything with glass in it or on it, just for the fact that it's the claw that grabs it, and if it grabs glass, it's going to go everywhere. We also don't pick up any appliances or tires. Recently, we've had a lot of phone calls for lawnmowers, which we will pick up if they're able to drain the oil and gas out of the tanks. So all fluids out of it, leave it curbside, call it, we'll come pick it up. So we have it on the website. If they want to check over to the solid waste tab on the city's website, there's a button they could click that has the ordinances listed. And again, it is $10 per item that goes on the water bill for the following month. So if we come out and pick up a mattress and a box spring, then it'll be $20 on your next water bill. So you'll call into our office phone number Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 2:30 is our office hours, and then we'll usually schedule it for the day of your trash service. So whatever day you set your cart out for service, that'll be the same day that we'll be expected to come through your neighborhood, pick up the bulk items. We have a good many phone calls which we're not able to oblige because they're moving out, and if you are moving out, we're not able to pick up the furniture or items you set out because you're not going to be there for that billing cycle. Always, if there's a question, just call and we'll put them in the right direction.
The third and final part, the director explains the technology used in trucks to communicate with residents.
The City of Murfreesboro Solid Waste Department have stepped into the 21st century with technology that will help meet growing demands in the waste industry.
We started the journey with a new program called Routeware. So we now have smart trucks, essentially. There's a tablet inside the truck, camera on the arm of the truck that goes and collects the curbside garbage. This has allowed the department to see when carts are not out. Drivers can go by and they hit a little button on their tablet that says can not out, and it records the address and the time that they were there. They move on to the next one. They have overloaded carts, so in the ordinance, the lid should be closed. We have a little grace in that, but if it's way overloaded or stuff beside the can and all that, it helps capture that as well, and it's documented. As soon as they hit the button that it's not out, there's a picture in our back office software that shows that photo.
If a citizen calls in to complain that their trash was not picked up for whatever reason, the department can explain why and email a picture to the resident. But a lot of the complaints end up being something funny.
Honestly, the most conversation I have about it is parents relying on their kids to put the trash out because they go to work beforehand and then it's not out. So then they get the photo and they're saying, I'm going to get so-and-so, for not putting the trash out. It's been a morale help as well. A lot of times the drivers may feel accused for not doing their job when in actuality the can wasn't there or wasn't able to be picked up.
As the fleet get replaced with these smart trucks, Russell explains there's still a need for employees that physically handle the carts.
So we have 3 other routes. They're called our commercial routes, but it is a driver and then he has solid waste technicians now. They hang on the back of the trucks and they pick up maybe a tight area. They do these alleys and businesses that are downtown here, and they do a great job with that. I do see a need for them still. I mean, the fact is several weeks ago we had so many trucks that had maintenance problems that we had to run one of those back on the traditional way of a route. So they'll always be around for that purpose as well. They have the tipper, so they'll roll it to the truck and then the truck will do the rest of the work from there and then they'll roll it back. For those that like to be outside and like it, it's good. I mean, myself and my management team, we still get out and do it every once in a while as well, just to kind of break up the routine of things and get back on the truck and see what it's like.
Murfreesboro Fire Rescue teamed up with Rutherford County for a special event to kick off last month's fire prevention. Murfreesboro and Rutherford County Fire Rescue team up to kick off Fire Prevention Week.
This is our first time partner. We work together in a lot of different things. We thought this would be a good thing to work together on this year, so we just both did it at the same time together. At
the Tennessee Miller Coliseum, both agencies hosted a day of fun activities for families like a bounce house, food trucks, and a helicopter landing. One of the highlights of the event, the extrication competition, showed exactly what these first responders face when out on the job. Rutherford County took home the win for fastest extrication, having to remove all doors and the roof from a vehicle using tools like the Jaws of Life. Each agency usually has their own way of promoting Fire Prevention Week, but this year hoping that working together would reach more people.
To see our community out supporting us and supporting the county and supporting the city. We work together a lot of times on scenes on the interstate with the city, so we've got a great working relationship. Me and Chief and Clay have been friends for many, many years, and it's just good to be able to partner with y'all and do this.
Harvest Days at Cannonsburg brought the community together for some good old-fashioned fun. The annual Harvest Days Festival at Cannonsburg draws a large crowd on a beautiful day.
I just love fall and fall festivals and stuff like that, and I saw this on the internet and thought it would be a fun afternoon.
With a little something for everyone, the event hosted booths with local crafts, hay rides, and music, along with volunteers who have been at this festival for over 20 years.
We're the River Chase Posse. We've been invited to come here to aggravate the wagon train when it runs around and to give them a good time, make them enjoy being here.
Having fun is what it's all about at Harvest Days, and Jim Logue is thrilled that his young family members want to carry on this tradition.
We enjoy doing the same thing that everybody else is doing, meeting people and talking with them and seeing how they're reacting with what's going on here today. We try to have clean fun, even though it looks like we're playing poker, which we are, but we're having fun. And we're not no real money, no real gambling's going on. But the kids like to do it, and we like to get them into it and get involved.
From card games to clog dancers, Murfreesboro's diverse community enjoyed coming together for a step back in time and enjoy some good old-fashioned fun.
I'm actually from like a really small town, and growing up there was always like very good community set up, and I moved to Murfreesboro to go to MTSU, and I think it's beautiful that Murfreesboro has such good like community together.
With Thanksgiving and Christmas right around the corner, make sure to check out murfreesboroparks.com for all of the upcoming events at Cannonsburg and around town. For CityTV, Michael Linn White. A community day was held at the Murfreesboro Police Department headquarters as a part of the 2022 National Faith in Blue Weekend. The event brought together several faith-based organizations and community resource agencies, as well as a reunion with a life-changing story.
If you don't think God's real,
you know,
here we are.
Here we are, and you had 1,700 arrests, and you remember me?
It's a story that has come full circle.
He helped save my life more than one time.
She's had a long walk through life and a lot of ups and downs and a lot of hard times and trials and stuff, but yet here she is a success story.
When Sergeant Jason Higgins and Jolie Millette Shipley saw each other at the Faith in Blue Weekend Community Day at MPD, it was like deja vu.
He sticks out to me because at the time when I was arrested, I was in college, and at the time I didn't like him very well.
I saw her, I didn't want to make it uncomfortable, awkward for her because I knew who she was.
A chance meeting 20 plus years ago, but not on the best of terms. Then Officer Higgins was conducting a bar check and saw Jolie.
I just remember she appeared intoxicated, and I told her, hey, don't drive. You know, whatever you do, don't drive.
I was having a good time with my friends, and he came over, knew that I wasn't able, I shouldn't have been driving. And he looked at me and he said, do not drive. And I went straight out of that bar and I drove.
Higgins pulled her over and arrested her for DUI. Not once, but twice.
A couple years after that, again, drinking at the bowling alley with some friends, and I drove and I actually had an accident. I rear-ended two people, and he was the responding officer to the scene that night, and I already knew when he came up that I was not going to be able to get out of that one.
Jolie would get a third DUI, this time by a state trooper. The DUI came the day before the law change, making 3 or more DUIs a habitual offense. She graduated from the Rutherford County Drug Court program and is now a certified mental health and substance abuse peer recovery specialist with the Family Worship Center Celebrate Recovery Through Christ ministry. On the social media announcement that the Murfreesboro Police Department would be taking part in a community day as part of the National Faith in Blue Weekend, no other comment summed it up best than the one Jolie responded to.
She said the same police department that arrested me has invited me to a community event. And I responded and said, well, they arrested me too. But it was a good thing that they arrested me.
This is what Faith in Blue Weekend is all about, engaging the community through partnerships with faith-based organizations.
Hey, how are you?
The Community Day at MPD brought out several faith-based organizations and community resources agencies.
We're glad you came out. We appreciate you coming and showing interest.
A Murfreesboro resident almost single-handedly packed a cruiser with non-perishable food items. The food was donated to the Nourish Food Bank. Participants and members of the public also got an opportunity to tour MPD headquarters. Also, pray for officers and the community.
Father, I plead the blood of Jesus over their lives, oh God. Father, I pray that you will protect them as they're out here serving, oh God.
It was faith that brought Jolie and Higgins back together. Truly a life-changing story. The true meaning of faith in blue.
How funny life works, and that God works, the way God works through life. And, at that time, like she told you, I wasn't her favorite person. And my only concern was not to win a friend, but to keep her alive.
I wanted to tell him today, thank you, because you saved my life. And now I'm living a life that I never imagined that I would.
For Behind the Badge, I'm Larry Flowers.
The Murfreesboro Stormwater Department encourages citizens to call them if they see anything going into storm drains other than rainwater.
Notice something in the drainage system that's not rainwater? It could be an illicit discharge. An illicit discharge is anything introduced to the drainage system that is not totally comprised of stormwater. Examples are automotive fluids, chemical leaks, food waste, pet and human waste, and wash water. Help keep Murfreesboro waterways clean and report possible illicit discharges to Murfreesboro Water Resources Stormwater.
Did you know that closing your bedroom door at night could save your life if a fire breaks out in your house?
I'm Sarge.
I'm Shan, and this is Sarge and Shan's Safety Minute.
Today we're going to talk about close the door.
That's right, Sarge, and why closing the door at night can save your life.
Did you know that half of all house fires occur while you're sleeping?
That's why it's very important to close the door at night before you go to bed.
Bedroom doors are designed to protect you from the smoke and heat produced by fires.
A closed door can keep heat as high as 1,000 degrees out of your room for several minutes.
That's enough time for the fire department to put the fire out and get to you safely.
Like we say in the fire service, close before you doze.
That's a great way to remember it. Close before you doze.
Close before you doze.
For more information, you can call us at 615-893-1422.
Murfreesboro Fire Rescue,
where safety is always first.
Have you visited the City of Murfreesboro's website? It's accessible on computers, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. Everything about the City of Murfreesboro is just a click or swipe away.
Have you visited the City of Murfreesboro's website? It's accessible on computers, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. Just go to murfreesborotn.gov and see all you can do. Make payments online to property taxes, city court fines, or your water and sewer bill. View city public meeting notices and agendas. Go to the finance portal to view financial data like the city's operating and revenue budgets. Find out the latest job postings with the city and more. Everything about the City of Murfreesboro is just a click or swipe away. Visit murfreesborotn.gov to find out more about your city government at work.
We're excited to share that we have partnered with Paws of Rutherford County to bring you the pet of the month. Here's the newest pet, Enzo. Enzo is a 1-year-old Akbash mix who finds joy in the small moments, but once he gets outside, he can be himself. He loves to run around and play with toys. He is very playful. Want to race him? Come see him today. For more information about Enzo or other dogs and cats available for adoption, contact Paws at 615-898-7740 or email them at paws@rutherfordcountytn.gov. Mark your calendars for these upcoming Murfreesboro holiday classics. Community Christmas, There's No Place Like Home, historic downtown tree lighting, Friday, December 2nd from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. at the historic downtown courthouse. At 5:30, live nativity scene with Southeast Baptist, Providence Christian Academy, and MTCS choirs performing. Free games and activities for children and carriage rides. At 6 o'clock, live performances on stage including Plainview and McFadden Elementary choirs, Center for the Arts Nuncrackers, Dance Works Dancers, Poet Laureate Cameron Mitchell, Santa and His Elves, and the official lighting of the courthouse tree. At 7:15, Pictures in the Courthouse with Santa, Nightingale Brass Quartet perform, activities for children and downtown carriage rides. The Murfreesboro Christmas Parade, Sunday, December 11th at 2 p.m., and it will also be televised on CityTV. To enter into the parade, go to the home page of the city's website, murfreesborotn.gov. The deadline is November 30th. Drive-through Christmas lights at Cannonsburg Village, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays from December 2nd through December 18th. New Year's Day 5K, Sunday, January 1st. And the Polar Bear Plunge, Saturday, January 7th at Sportscom's Vero Beach. Well, that's it for this edition of In the City. As always, for more information about the City of Murfreesboro or any of the stories you've seen here, you can always visit our website at www.murfreesborotn.gov. And if you want to see any of the stories that you've seen today or catch up on some of the latest city news, you can always visit the City of Murfreesboro's YouTube channel. I'm Michael Linn White, and until next time, we look forward to seeing you in the city.